Oh no. My girlfriend won't admit to killing my dog. Is it weird that my boyfriend's dad asked me about my sex life? Is my wife's therapist trying to ruin our relationship? Hope this is an appropriate place to pose this question.
Nope.
I'm a therapist and I'm gonna help you out. Hi, happy people. Now, Reddit has a lot of interesting, crazy, and even real life queries. And I thought, why not go through some of them and share my thoughts? So I asked my team, pick out the most hot Reddits on relationship and self development. Reddit, hit me. Here we go. Is it weird that my boyfriend's dad asked me about my sex life?
Wow.
Judgment from base.
That's not okay. That's not at all okay. Today, my boyfriend's dad and I went for a walk in the mountains. I spent the last few days with them to meet them for the first time. While we were on this walk, he asked me about my sex life with his son, my boyfriend. He asked me if his son satisfies me in the bedroom, and he asked me if my libido was higher or lower than his. He also asked about whether I was adventurous or not in the bedroom, and if I nagged him for sex. He said men don't like a woman that nags men for sex. Not really. I'm also a Christian, and my boy's family isn't religious. My boyfriend's dad also asked if I was going to make his son wait for sex until marriage. But I just felt weird talking about all of this with his dad, who I had just met for the first time. I answered his questions because I felt a bit awkward and felt that I had to. But I also said my family is a bit conservative and we don't usually talk about these things. My boyfriend's dad said it's important to talk about and that's why he brought it up. But I can't help but feel it was a bit inappropriate. It is very inappropriate. I'm not sure if I should tell my boyfriend that his dad asked me these questions or if I should just leave it and forget about it. I've never had this happen before and was wondering if this is normal. Update. I told my boyfriend what his father said to me, and my boyfriend just kind of shrugged and said, "That's just how my dad is." What? He did apologize for his dad's behavior though, and said it wasn't okay that he said that. Well, it is not normal, especially when you're meeting someone for the first time. Sounds like this person was put on the spot. I mean, you're meeting your boyfriend's parents for the first time and you want to make a good impression. But the dad definitely invaded boundaries on privacy. It looks like this person also felt very uncomfortable, pressured in the moment, and she opened up about things that she actually didn't want to. Now here, showing you are assertive is a very important first impression to make anywhere in life. So if a similar situation happens in the future to any one of you, sticking to the response that I'm not comfortable opening up about such personal things. And since this involves my partner, I'll discuss it with him and let you know. Now you are gonna feel proud and strong for protecting yourself like that. Let's go to the next one. Oh, this one is about a therapist. Is my wife's therapist trying to ruin our relationship? Hi everyone, hope this is an appropriate place to pose this question. Here's some backstory. I've been married to my spouse for over a decade. There have been ups and downs but no major issues. We also have an amazing, thriving child together. For the last several months, she has been doing intensive trauma therapy for CPTSD, childhood sexual trauma. She generally doesn't share the stuff that they work on in their sessions, and I'm okay with that. Recently, she came to me with some behavior from her therapist that she thought was odd. She said on a couple of occasions, when talking about arguments or issues that we have, her therapist would compare me to his ex-wife. Example, that's how things were with my ex before we got divorced. I kind of freaked out and I assumed that this guy didn't have our marriage as a priority. I kind of doubled down on this assumption when my wife started expressing doubts about our future together. As in, she is doing the work and I am not. Now, I'm kind of worried about this dynamic with the therapist. There are some elements of their therapy that are very different from mine, such as they routinely exchange emails outside of therapy. My wife says that this is part of the process. What? He's between practices at the moment, and the emails are continuing despite her not actually seeing him as a patient. My wife seems happier than ever. We're about to start couples therapy together with a different therapist, but I am concerned. Is this normal? Is my wife's therapist doing something unprofessional? Should I listen to this gross, paranoid part of me that's worried this divorced older dude might be trying to steal my wife. She says that she called him out on the comparisons he was making. If you made it this far, thanks for reading. Any advice would be appreciated. So I'm not attacking all therapists out there, but it's a tricky situation the guy is in, right? He cares about that his wife wants to get better, but at the same time, he wants to make sure she gets the right help. I mean, that's a supportive husband, so kudos to him. Now, to answer that doubt, yes, the therapist is breaking a lot of boundaries and rules here. First of all, as therapists, we always avoid sharing something personal about ourselves. Sometimes, when the client is confused and they want some clarity, we will give a vague disclosure about ourselves. Now, I have to be as objective as possible and do this as carefully as possible. And frequently contacting your client, especially when they're no longer your client, is also a breach of boundary. We don't know if this guy's intention is to steal your wife, but just based on the behavior, I would say he's not definitely doing things right. I hope the couples therapy was able to catch this and help them out. Okay, now let's go to the next one. Okay. We're gonna have a serious talk when you get home. How would you react to that text message? We're gonna have a serious talk when you get home. Drama awaits. Okay, if I get a text like this, like anybody else, I would get anxious, even slightly panic. But I need more information before I reach home. So I'll ask, are you okay? Are we okay? How big of an emergency is this? And once I get some basic answers, I will just put in some reassurance. Babe, whatever it is, I'm sure we can fix this together. I'll be there as soon as I can. Just hang on. And I'll add an I love you in the end. And until I reach home, I'll keep my fingers crossed. Once we talk about it and fix it, in order to help my future self, I'll also bring up this topic. Babe, when I saw your text that we're gonna have a serious talk when I come home, it made me very anxious. So from next time, if it's an emergency, we can get on a call for a few minutes then and there. Or if it can wait, we can have these conversations when both of us are in the same room. And that's how I would react. Let's go to the next one. What's an example of a good addiction?
Nope.
There is no such thing as a good addiction. Addiction is bad, even if you're addicted to a productive activity. Let's say you're addicted to work or studying, helping others. People who are addicted to studying often have very poor health. They take longer time to finish their portions. They have poor relationships with other people. So addiction is a sign of imbalance. It's system override. It's never good. Let's move on to the next one. What app is a red flag if you see it in a person's phone? If the person is committed, then dating apps, I would say. But if the person is single, I don't actually know. Yogesh, if someone is single and they have an app on their phone which is a red flag, what app would it be? What kind of app it would be?
Snapchat.
Someone said, off-brand calculator app. The real good ones have 2 passwords. The correct one unlocks all the pictures etc. that you have hidden. The second one can be used to secretly tell the app to act like a calculator. It's wild. Oh, so you can hide all your dirty stuff in an app that looks like a calculator.
Yeah.
It's a built-in feature on Samsung phones. Let's move on to the next one. Oh no. My girlfriend won't admit to killing my dog. Do I end it?
Bruh, look at this dude. Wait till you see the... No.
About a year ago, my then girlfriend, I think that's good. About a year ago, my then girlfriend was about to move in with me. My dog had a broken back from an injury 4 years prior. The injury was my fault, but he has healed and can walk and run now. However, he tweaked his back jumping up on a wall. After taking him to the vet, he was given gabapentin for his pain, prescribed by the vet. My dog weighs 27 pounds and was given 400 mg of gabapentin, a fairly largish dose for his size. He was not supposed to move or be in pain so his back can heal. My ex-partner, let's note that down. My ex-partner thought he would be more comfortable and put a 25-pound weighted blanket designed for humans on him and folded it like she was making a bed on his diaphragm. When I got home from work, she said my dog looked strange. He looked strange because he was dead for 2 hours. She suffocated him under the weighted blanket. When I explained what happened to him, she freaked out and started cursing at me and blaming me for giving him gabapentin. I said quite a few choice words and the relationship was done. And by choice words, I mean I cursed her out. I did eventually apologize for that, but she never admitted to killing him. Fast forward 18 months and we had been talking again. We were in love, very much so, but I was unable to forgive her for not taking responsibility for my dog's death. I told her there was no way we could be friends or anything romantic until she took responsibility for suffocating my dog. She refuses to apologize or acknowledge she killed him and again blames it on the gabapentin and injuring his back 4 years ago. Oh, that's uncalled for. I find the behavior morally reprehensible and refuse to be with someone who can't do the bare minimum of accepting responsibility to doing something terrible to someone they loved. She claims she loved my dog too. She says I'm going in circles, holding on to the past, etc., which to me sounds a lot like gaslighting or stonewalling. How should I go about this? Do I cut ties or accept the loss of these 5 years? Oh, it was a 5-year relationship. Now, first off, I feel really bad for the dog. It was an unfortunate ending. But it also sounds that the girlfriend made an ill mistake. I don't think it was intentional. Anyways, he is right. She should take responsibility for her actions and the stress that it put on the dog. Even for healthy couples, grief can create damage. And when couples attack and blame each other for the loss, it gets more and more ugly and disrespectful, even for the loss. Maybe she's still processing the guilt or the grief. She might be in denial. Or she has a pattern of escaping responsibility when things go wrong. If it's the first case, then things can work if she's willing to... Chappy? Don't worry, Chappy. Nobody's gonna put blankets on you. If it's the first case, then things can work if this person is willing to self-reflect and process. But if it's the second case, then every time this person is gonna evade responsibility for things going wrong. Let's say she misses to book the tickets for the trip and she's not taking responsibility for it. This will be a trigger for the guy of what happened with the dog because the dog's loss was traumatic. Plus, someone who always escapes responsibilities is not really reliable. So I would say the choice comes down to the question, what do you think is most rare to find? Love or safety? The last one was a little heavy, and with that, we are done. Did you guys get some answers you were looking for? If not, I'm gonna create a community separately for this where you can put your crazy queries and real queries and wait for the next video. If you like this, subscribe and follow for more. Bye.